Hello my friends and welcome back to our continued blind Let's Play Ace Attorney Dual Destinies for the PS5, the 7th game in this series. My name is the FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today we just met Blackwell, and we're trying to figure out the answer to Turnabout Monstrosity. No, it's not Turnabout Monstrosity, I keep saying that for some reason. It's a Monster Turnabout? Turnabout Monster? The Monsters Turnabout, there we go. The Monsters Turnabout, yeah. So we're gonna try to figure out answers in the Monsters Turnabout here at day 1 of the trial. I hope you're all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. The entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely! They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. But when the accused show his face, the angry mob scatter like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, though the yokai are no match for Tenma Taro, the Dark Lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenma Taro? I'm confused. I think he means by Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act? Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters!
Hold it!
The amazing Ninetales, no one knows his true identity, right? Well, that's right! And he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation! He appeared like a shooting star, defeating out Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion! Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma Town for wrestling. He was amazing! If there ever was a real superhero, it would be him! I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday! I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackwell. A police detective and a prisoner in chains? You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. Ha ha ha! So you do understand the greatness as the amazing Ninetales. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. Did the murder and yokai evidence actually stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenma Taro has them shaken in the boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That's suspicious lot. It's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a Mark's exodus. Oh, I see. Well, that's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor biting into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can be only one reason why anyone would play those feathers. It tracks. The strange feathers it tracks. He played it, made it look like yokai was the killer. But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the village's fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your honor agrees that there is no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You were saying it wasn't premeditated? From the onset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? I don't like the sound of that. Alderman Kirby's secret identity. Apollo? I think Prosecutor Blackwell has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene.
Oh my! Why would it have been there?
He's good. Like, he put that together, and he wasn't even at the scene of the crime. He was in jail just getting reports. And even though he's just getting reports, he's like, oh, this must be this must be that, this has to go here, that has to go there. That is clever. The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more?
Well, could it really be?
Huh. Your baldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Rex QB, was the amazing Ninetales. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was a motive for murder.
Order! Stop that nonsense. What a shocking development. Motive clearer than the crystal clear.
What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie the ultimate secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At least we've reached my final or real point. Why did the alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your baldness?
I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona. Just to secretly participate in the anti-urgent movement.
Very astute of you, your baldness.
Right, now take a look at this.
Whoa. Blackmail letter. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Timber Town. Do not tell anyone about this threat. If you do, consider your dearest as good as dead. Oh, he's basically read that. Okay.
This blackmail letter was found in Alderman QB's pocket.
What? At present, the alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Timber go missing? Right after the alderman's murder? You think that maybe the killer took the letter for the mayor after the murder? And planted it into the alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what's happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. Blackmail letter added to the court record.
Mayor Timber would have made a clean getaway if he just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetales. So it was the amazing Ninetales counterattack that brought the entire crime to light.
Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to the testimony. Hold on. I think I missed something there. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence, and that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that. So the mayor killed the alderman, planted the evidence, and then was knocked out. There's no way the mayor could have knocked out... I'm sorry, hold on. The mayor killed the alderman, planted evidence, and then the alderman, who was dead, knocked out the mayor. I think that's what it's trying to say. How can a dead man knock out another person when they're dead? That has to mean that there was a third person on the scene. Because unless he knocked down himself, which doesn't make any sense either, someone else had to have been there.
Mayor Tema killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers in tracks.
Hold it!
So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after?
Absolutely, and then he was knocked out cold by the alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that.
Okay, so maybe I was wrong about what he was saying. I mean, it just read that way. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before, not after. So he knocked him out with that sleeping drug. He planted the evidence. Then he went to kill him. And then he was knocked out by Alden. Trying to fly the flow of chronology from Fulbright's perspective. Something's not right here. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. Ark, we had to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. Then we're going to need to prove that Mayor Tema didn't plant that yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? It's a good question, Mega Man. Let's see. It's got to be this statement. It has to be this statement. The question is, what evidence do we have that victim had been in a drug-induced slumber? Okay, hear me out. The fact that the feathers are over the blood and not under the blood means that the feathers were put down after the killing. Should I go with that? I think I should go with that. I like where that's going, at least in my brain. I could be wrong, but at least the way I'm thinking of it, that sounds right.
Objection!
Okay, good. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair.
What's this? You dare question my justice again?
Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. You know what I've liked about this case so far? In both instances where I worked out something in my head and I said, this is what it should be, it was actually that. There's been cases in the past when I'm like, okay, well, this is how it is, and I get it wrong because I'm presenting either the right theory at the wrong time, or they want me to address a different thing before I address the thing that I'm trying to say, but I guess it's the same thing as the one I just said. But the point is, so far, everything has seemed logical in this case. So I like that. I like it when I can say something and say, okay, this is what I think happened, and then I do it, and boom, that's how it works. I can always be wrong, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I like it so far. Take a look at this photo.
This is a crime scene photo. And what does this prove?
It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted.
But I already told you they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence and then was knocked out while killing his victim.
But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear where the feathers or tracks were left at the scene. Okay, so here I have to click here.
Aren't you just pointing to yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice?
Yes, see how the feathers are on top of the blood and the tracks are made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Yes, exactly. Good, good, good.
Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman.
But you said it yourself, the mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene.
There must be some mistake.
Order, order, order!
Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Oh.
Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you.
You do? But how?
What is that? What is this? Aww. I kind of feel bad for him now. Same time, he's, you know, whatever.
Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked?
He's taking this really hard.
Mr. Justice. What is his testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have?
I have it right here, Your Honor. This is sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was a demon, Tenma Taro. He is the source of those feathers and tracks.
The dots.
Is this guy serious, Dots?
Demon killed him? Is this guy saying that demons are real?
It's getting awkward. Will somebody please say something?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means.
You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You are unfit to bear your name, boy!
Your boldness. It appears the defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please, hear me out.
Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears. But you had better explain yourself very, very well. What was this yokai you were talking about?
Look, we had a parrot give testimony in this court before. I mean, this is not too out of the unordinary, okay? It's all in the statement here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenma Taro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around a corner in the hall. It was around here. That she saw Tenma Taro fleeing toward the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind intentionally or otherwise.
What?
How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before?
The defense just proved there was someone else? So the mayor isn't the killer? Was it all set up? The prosecution is a convicted felon after all. Apollo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Good. Now let's keep it that way.
Objection!
Little do you realize that there you are in the midst of a fray. Your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Riddle me this, Batman. That yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer. Well, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle. Now that you mention it. Both Phineas Filch and Florent LaBelle were in the foyer at that time. But they haven't stated that they saw yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination?
Why didn't those two see the Tenma personally pass by? Well, there's two reasons. One, they're in on it. Or two, they believe in the legend that if you mention this guy, well, what was the legend exactly? If you mention the Tenma, then your soul gets stolen or something.
Why don't we ask them ourselves?
I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. We need to call some witnesses. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have seen something.
I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you. I have no objections to Mr. Justice's request. Press the good Blackwell.
You know what's interesting? Is we have this testimony here, this statement of Jinxie. I'm surprised we don't call Jinxie first to validate this is what she saw. And she affirms it on the stand. And then we call Filch. I just guess we're assuming that this is a true statement, and therefore we're skipping that because there wouldn't really be much to say. But I would think that you would first call the girl, verify that yes, this is what she said, and then call Filch.
I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
Really? Really?
I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will.
Did he just say captured? No, wait, I don't want to know.
Well, very well then. Bailiff, please go wake up Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Will the witness state his mind and occupation, please?
Then here's Filch, Phineas Filch, caretaker at QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just saw something I thought you might like.
Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes. And your honor will do just fine, Miss Filch.
Oh my god, he stole his shoes. Ah, it's those shoes again.
Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright?
Don't tell me Fitch stole them again.
Well, they're all yours, your honorship, sir. What? They seem awfully expensive. Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect. Someone like your honorship. It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts.
Ethics schmethics. Just take them if you want them. Polish them up real nice for you, too.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. Court would like to hear whether you saw Tenma in the foyer after the murder.
Witness testimony guarding the foyer. This is gonna be interesting because we have to somehow get him to say that the theory of the monster is enough for him not to say anything.
Well, at the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. Kirby asked. I was making sure that no one, fair, foul, fish, or otherwise, couldn't get to our guest. I was still in my office, keeping the kid watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, no siree!
That yokai you keep bothering on about was but the phantom of the little girl's dreams.
So, you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tenma?
Yeah, was gone in the whole time. That's the truth, the whole truth, and none about it, the truth. Tenma? Bye, I don't really believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo, do ya? I certainly don't.
Ooh. My bracelet. It's
Something the matter, Apollo?
my bracelet keeps squeezing my arm.
Really? So you think Mr. Tanuki, Mr. Filch has been lying to us?
I wouldn't rule it out.
Now, if I could just zero in on a tell, some sort of nervous habit. What the heck? Wow, what the? How am I gonna attack that bird? What's a hawk doing in here? Oh, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He's got a pet hawk. This guy is the coolest. Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact.
He doesn't live with you?
You know, in jail? Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Hey. Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick or... Ag! I won't be able to squat like this! Ah, what the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills!
No pets or the animals are allowed inside the courtroom. Huh? Ah! Ack! Somebody help!
This bird is the coolest thing ever. Oh, he's merely having a bit of a sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished.
Well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, you will, ensure that your feathered friend is, properly fed.
He's so adorable. Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine, I think. If there was someone dressed as Temper Tower there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jixie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Birdist. This bird is the coolest thing ever. Oh, I love the bird. Oh, excuse me. I'm laughing so hard at the bird that I started coughing, and then it became a laugh and a cough, and then it just became like whatever the heck that was. Guarding the foyer.
Well, at the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked.
Hold it! Mr. Filch, why did Alderman QB have you handle guard duty?
That's because he trusts me. I am the manor's caretaker after all.
So, you took said guard duty very seriously.
Let me tell you something about me. I'm, Yipes!
Listen here, you little Tanuki. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the foyer and not else.
Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir.
Blackwell's got him completely under his thumb.
Well, like I said, I was guarding the foyer entrance that day. I was making sure that no one fair, foul, fish, or otherwise could get to our guest.
Hold it! So, no one could get to him. Sounds like security was pretty tight.
Well, that's because there's always lots of sneaks and thieves around festival. Time?
Yeah, like yourself. And the solution was to trust the menace. And the solution was to trust the menace security thief? That's not even funny. I thought she was talking. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hearing one. After all, it takes one to know one. I don't know. It seems more like laying the fox guard the hen house to me.
So the witness testifies that he took his guard duty seriously. Oh, yes, sir, your honorship, sir. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m.
Hold it! Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time?
Poor old Filchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy suit and silly haircut. So sorry, Mr. Blackwell, sir. I didn't mean to get off the subject there.
Sheesh. Blackwell didn't even say anything. Who is this guy? Greenhorn in his fancy suit and silly haircut. Oh, he must be talking about me.
To answer your question, yes, I kept an eye. No, both of them, in fact, on the foyer. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no siree.
Could you describe to the court who you would consider fishy looking?
Well, someone all fidgety, shitty like, you know, like they're about to steal something.
Yeah, just described himself.
I wonder why Mr. Filch didn't see Timber Tower.
Maybe Jixie only thinks he saw Timber Tower, or
maybe Mr. Filch is lying.
And if he's lying, we might be able to spot a contradiction in his testimony. Okay, so that one's very descriptive. That one says a time. Like, if there's anything I've learned from playing Ace Attorney games, whenever there's an adjective, like they'll say, redfish, for example. You know that red has to be important. Like, the adjective says, you know, okay, well, check. Was the fish actually red? Chances are the fish wasn't actually red, and that's what it was. Here he says something specific. He says, when the murder happened after 3 p.m. So there has to be something important about 3 p.m. If I look at the court autopsy, what does the autopsy say? Here he was stabbed around 3:20 p.m. So I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. So that actually lines up with the time of death. But he was watching Tenma Town Pro Wrestling at the time. So he didn't have both eyes on the foyer, he had an eye on the television.
Objection!
Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch. See, like I said, you gotta pay attention to those very specific things people say in these games. I'm learning that after like 7 games, but I'm learning.
Hey, it ain't right to bushwhack a fellow like that.
Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss.
Ack! I didn't watch that one, no siree. I was doing my job just like I was supposed to.
This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right?
Yipes!
Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, it was a complete disaster.
Arrgh!
What's with this music? So, do you meant to slacking off?
Hey, you can't trick me with your ruddy poo lawyer talk. I'm one of the professional types too. I can do double duty, watch the TV in the foyer at the same time.
The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief.
Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe that the witness was slacking off?
Well, that's correct. He claims to have been watching TV in the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bald-faced lie.
Bold, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps he meant the witness, Mr. Justice. And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV in the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it.
Oh. How do I prove it other than this? To leaving the scene and calling the police, a passenger at the bend in the hallway is made for the foyer. He's carrying a staff-like implement that jangled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. I mean, our entire part of the case revolves around this statement here. Is there any other evidence? Maybe this picture? Because if you look at the picture, there's no way he could have been watching the TV and the foyer at the same time, because the TV is angled in such a way that if you're watching the TV, you can't watch the foyer. So it's either the statement, which makes me believe it's not because we've already used the statement per se. But I'm thinking it's the foyer diagram for the reasons I just stated. You can't be watching both the TV and the foyer at the same time.
Take that!
Please take a look at the direction the TV is facing this diagram. All right, good, good, good. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time.
Why, yes. Somebody watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance.
Exactly. And that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim.
Yipes! The bag's out of the cat, or I mean the other way around. Order, order, order. But Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case?
It's very relevant, because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tamatara impersonator in the foyer.
Objection!
What now? Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the camera? This. I'm not a mind reader. Ack! Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still at work. Right, Tanuki? Well, not really. You're watching and listening to the wrestling event.
Ah, they were? Yes, they were.
But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't?
My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer, heh. You see, the foyer floor and stairway get all squeaky creaky when somebody walks on them. Creak, 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 loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon.
So you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by?
Yep, my ears are working full time, so who's the liar now, you no good shyster?
A lying thief called me a shyster? This has to be the low point in my fledgling career.
Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really are something else here. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And them bags under your eyes are darker than mine.
Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Taka is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu.
Yipes! Please don't hit me, Mr. Taka, sir! The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise its testimony accordingly.
Ears working overtime.
Well, it's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor there is all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no timber tower in the foyer.
Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand. A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget your Kai, demons, and such. We must use common sense, for lacking that, our entire world would be but upside down. Says a convict prosecutor is totally a sign of end times of the legal world.
And besides, there ain't any yokai roaming about and now I'm selling them to the zoo.
I wonder whether Jixie was just seeing things. Well, that seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can't prove she saw Tamataro, the mayor's sure to get convicted. Then we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Cross-examination. Ears working overtime.
Well, it's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV.
You are paid for your work, aren't you? So how do you justify watching TV on the job?
Arg! But it ain't easy being me. I mean, I can't watch TV when we have visitors. There's no way to record stuff.
Sorry, am I supposed to be consoling you over your first world problems? If those are his only problems, he should consider himself lucky. I guess pro wrestling's serious business to Mr. Felch.
My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime.
You lied earlier about talking your guard duties seriously, didn't you?
Oh, are they? Well, ain't no harm in being the truth of it, right? Eek!
Listen to me, you little Tanuki. Lie again, and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours.
Yipes! Sorry, just let me get my tongue.
At least have it until we get to the tooth out of him anyway. You are negligent in your duties. Are you not?
Yes, sir, I was, sir, but it ain't like that, sir. The floor, there's all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by.
So you have a pretty good ears, Mr. Felch.
Why, as good as they come, I say. Ain't nothing to hear a creaky for. Plus, a timber tower makes a sound when he goes by. It's like a jingle jingle.
Jingle jangle? How does he do that?
Well, it's a staff of his. That's what jingle jangles.
What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me, but I guess Tamataro has a staff that makes noise. We've seen a picture of it. Or... did we see a picture of it? Yeah. Jixie mentioned something too. Staff like implement that jingle. Yeah, that. Come to think of it, didn't Jixie mention something like that too? She said she saw a Tamataro holding a staff-like object that made a jingly sound. Well, I guess that's the source of the noise then.
Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Phil says that Tamataro had jingle jangles. You consider that vital information?
Yes, I do. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony.
Tamataro was passed by his staff would have gone jingle jangle.
So Tamataro's staff makes a distinctive sound?
Yep, like a jingle and a jangle.
How do you know that? Wait, Jinxie said something like that. Something about Tamataro making a jingly sound. I think we're missing something here, but I can't quite put a finger on it. Perhaps I should take a look at the court record again.
So you see, there weren't no Tamataro in the foyer.
Please tell me the court. What did Jixie see if it was not Tamataro?
Ah, she's going on about seeing some kind of stuff for that. Just an act of imagination, I reckon. She won't even come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of Tanuki monster.
Can't say I blame her. So, Mr. Felch, you chalk it up to a child's active imagination?
Yep. No Tamataro or anyone else got in there out of Mr. QB Manor on my watch.
Apollo, what could this mean? Do you think Jinxie was just seeing things? Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive. Or to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we'll have to uncover if it's just lie. Right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. I just want to know, how would he know that he made a jingle jangle sound? I mean, the fact that he knows that Tamataro has a staff, and the fact that he knows it makes a jingle jangle sound, confirms this account of what Tamataro looks like. But I don't know if that's catching him in a contradiction or a lie. This is the one time so far in this case that I've been questioning how this works. Should I look at other evidence? Like, I don't see any other evidence that shows he has a staff that jingles. All the depictions of him show him without a staff.
Objection!
The evidence is could be odds with the witness testimony. Your baldness.
Who, me?
What do you make of this objection of his?
Oh, I don't know if I should, well.
I have no patience for vagaries. Now answer my question.
Yes, sir. The defense's objection was clearly misguided.
Bravo, nicely done.
Oh ho ho! Seems a misguided attorney has earned himself a penalty.
Erk, I better look before I leak next time. So there is... What evidence do I present?
Objection!
That was it? That was it? Like I said, I was just thinking, I'm a little bit confused because I don't really see anything else except maybe the lack of a descriptor. The fact that none of the images of him show him with the staff. So how would he know he had a staff if none of the legends say he had a staff? I guess that was the answer. It's just one of those things where I had to think backwards from my original thinking, I guess. Temataro's staff would make a jingly sound, you say? Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up.
Is there something the defense would like to share with the court?
Mr. Filch, you say that you didn't see Temataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Temataro would be holding a staff?
Huh?
You see, the Temataro Jixie saw held a staff in his hand. And she described its sound just like you did, as kind of a jingly sound.
Yes, it was holding a staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Temataro doesn't use a staff, not normally.
Ah, what are you talking about?
You see, this is the only known document depicting Temataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch?
You're right. There's no staff, not even a cane or a walking stick. Ah! So the question is, why does the witness think Temataro uses staff?
I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution case on the most basic level. By the way, can we just say how awesome it is that the Hawk is wearing like a prison garb, bandana, whatever you call those things? Because I think that's awesome. The bird is my new favorite character. Well now, this is getting interesting.
All right, Mr. Justice. It's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Village believes Temataro carries a staff.
Scroll's wrong. He actually saw Temataro and he's scatterbrain. He actually saw Temataro. I don't want to select the other answers. We have a health bar, so yeah. Mr. Village actually saw Temataro night after the crime occurred. That's the only way you could possibly know about the staff.
I busted again! Bloody heck! You duplicitous little...
Yes. How did that feel, Blackwell? I keep wanting to say Blackwell. Why do I keep wanting to say Blackwell? What famous character has the name of Blackwell? Little Witch Academia? I don't think I've ever seen Little Witch Academia. Defense Encounter Chairman at Appleton Academy. No, that's not where I've seen Blackwell from. I know I've seen the name Blackwell before, but I can't figure out from where. Was he in the Dresden Files? maybe, but I don't see a Google search of him being in the Dresden Files. Where have I heard the name Blackwell? Sherlock? That's Blackwood. Yeah, that was Blackwood. Someone tell me where I've heard this name before. I know I've heard this name before somewhere. Not so fun when the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Felch. You did see Tematara that day, didn't you? Well?
I'm begging you. Please don't make me say it.
But clearly, you did see Tematara. Stop stalling and testify to the fact. It's the legend, like I thought. I like how they told us that there was a legend way before this came up in the trial. Because they did, it makes sense why he can't talk. Now, if they just suddenly added this into the trial at this point without telling us about it, it would have seemed out of left field. But I like how they presented the scenario beforehand.
I no can do, no way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be.
He? Mr. Felch still won't admit to seeing Temataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is why? Mr. Felch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. They say you must not gaze upon Temataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Temataro will claim your soul. Yeah, I remember that. Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Temataro after hearing the village superstitions. She said that if she's told anyone that she's had seen Temataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, you think Filch believes that too?
So Mr. Big Time City Slicker lawyer has heard about him. Them old village superstitions.
Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about?
The people in Ninetales Vale believe some pretty strange things. And their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit to the truth. The truth that he really did see Temataro.
The darn straight, that's why. It's all right here.
Those superstitions. Do not gaze upon Temataro. Do not tell others if you see him. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one way to save it. Your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. Knowing this... Yeah, okay.
See, that's what us folks in Ninetales Vale can talk about seeing Temataro.
Village superstitions add to the court record. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a Temataro costume. They knew that no one could talk about him, so it was as if he never existed. The defense told this that Temataro impersonator is the true killer.
What?
Objection!
Yeah, I thought you might object, but you know what? Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And without using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit. You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
Your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackwell.
Objection!
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the clink, but few of those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make you even more of a believer. I thought he was gonna break those at first. Actually, looks like he got hurt on that one.
Order, order, order! Order, I say!
You fail of a Tanuki. 2 times now your lies have cost me.
Sorry, I promise to do it again. Please don't eat me, Mr. Bird.
I like how it looks over to see if he's gonna get or not.
Taka, my fine feather friend, have at him. Yipes! She's gonna be in for nails!
Oh my god, I love this bird. This is the best ever. We can just leave it like this. Like, don't do anything else. Just leave it like this and go away. Ah, he took off.
But Bailiff, what are you waiting for? After him and with your fastest of men.
That's certainly not something you see every day.
Yeah, that's for sure. So where does that leave us in the case? Recess?
Well, it would seem a new and important fact has come to light. Third party disguised the yokai Tenma was at scene. Now we had 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
That's a lot of dots. Oh, it did break them. Oh.
What?
Huh?
His shackles.
Oh my, what? I'm too young to die.
Justice, don't know. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade.
Dude, he is so cool looking. If I didn't have my thumbnail of the last video with him on it, this would be the thumbnail because look at that. He is so awesome.
You had best say your prayers.
Commander Chip!
See, a bomb doesn't make him run away, but this guy makes him run. He knows what's the most dangerous thing in the world, I guess.
The detective, do something!
Ha ha ha! Have no fear! Fulbright is here! When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going!
Objection!
Then get going already before he kills us.
Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackwell for his sense of justice that set him free!
Objection, objection! I object to Detective Fulbright's evidential justice.
He's actually saying the word objection for a change.
Silence.
Dang. That voice. That wasn't like his normal voice he's been using so far. That was awesome.
Huh. I am not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards.
Oh, well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, can I ask you to,
I think the judge forgot he's in charge here.
So, Justice Dono's assertion is this. Tenma is a serial killer, not Mayor Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime.
Right. And that yokai, or rather, whoever was the person who killed Otto McCubey.
Silence.
Yak! Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the Fox Chamber?
Wait, what? He's right. She said nothing about Tenma being in the Fox Chamber.
Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door.
And your point is?
Upon opening the door, she found a freshly skinned murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor.
No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tenma. Arg!
Then, why does that little scamp claim not to have seen the yokai in the Fox Chamber?
Considering her father is accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room.
I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenma inside the Fox Chamber? There is but one way to find out. Ask Jitsu Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime.
Uh-oh.
The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long has my blade thirsted for blood. At long last, it shall be sated.
Wait, this is still a trial, right?
Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice don't know.
Ah!
Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup, and so the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to
Arg!
3 minutes.
3 minutes? Somebody say 3 minutes? Oh! I'm sorry, I'm a major wrestling geek, and there was this group called 3 Minute Warning, and there was this famous angle where someone's getting married, and the guy getting married is dressed up like this old, crotchety dude, and it's revealed to be Eric Bischoff, and he says, "Did someone just say 3 minutes?" And then out came his goons, and they like cleared the scene, and it was just really stupid of a scene, but I always remember 3 Minute Warning, and I always found them funny.
I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess? Just so. Idea time if your destination of intent is the loo.
The loo? You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh. At least include enough time to wash your hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished.
Yes, sir, I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the trial begins. Resumes. Oh my god, this bird is a scene stealer. I'm like all over this bird, but you know me, I'm the flightless bird, so that might be my thumbnail. I want to make the thumbnail about Filch because the case is about Filch, but I mean, come on, look at that picture. That's hilarious.
I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of this round, as Simon says.
Doesn't bode well for us that the prosecutor is running the show, does it? April 18th, 10:40 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3.
He busted out of his shackles.
Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to.
Better be careful, Apollo. You really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Temple Tower impersonator at the Mariner.
What's with that guy in the whole samurai act anyway? Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere art. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel.
No, wait, let's say the dueling until after we prove your instance.
I suppose it could wait till later.
Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here?
Athena, I'm gonna go wash up.
Remember what Blackwell said, Apollo. Don't be late.
April 18th, 10:43 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
I'm surprised they didn't give me a recess here.
I'm really surprised they didn't give me a recess here. But I'm gonna take a recess here. Much love to you all. Hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic, amazingly awesome day today. And until next time, so long and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.